Hey guys, Chris at Battleborn Wheels here. Today I'm going to talk wheels. What we have here is our most common wheels that we use, or that we sell, I should say. And they all kind of look alike. And that's for a reason, right? This is our Sierra model. It's a classic 10-spoke D window style design that is just classic, and it kind of looks good on everything, right? The reason why all these wheels look similar is because they all have the same spoke design. Now that's not by accident. We have several different ways we can make this wheel. Starting off at our entry level here, this is for your daily driver, your budget vehicle, your weekend warrior, whatever you want to call it, overland vehicle where you don't need crazy low PSI, you're not racing the thing, you're just trying to go off-road, you know, go exploring, go camping. This is our HoldFAST wheel. It's an import unit. It shows up just like this, box ready to ship, and that's how we keep the price down for the entry level on this guy, right? So this is a HoldFAST design, and I'll talk more about the HoldFAST in another video you could check out. But this one's just simple, basic, no moving parts, no extra components to worry about. You just take it to your local tire shop and then they can put it on and balance it for you. This comes in 3 different finishes. The raw machined with a clear coat. It comes in a gray and a black, of course. You know, so we offer these in 5, 6 lug and 8 lug bolt pattern applications for all the different types of vehicles. So we got your newer Jeeps, your 5x5, that's JK, JL, JT. 6 on 5.5 works for an array of vehicles, right? So you have your Toyota, Tacoma, 4Runner, Bronco. There's a lot of vehicles that run that 6 on 5.5 bolt pattern. 8 lug bolt patterns we offer in your 8 on 6.5 for like your Ram guys. We have 8 on 180 and 8 on 170, which is Super Duty. 8 on 180 is your GM, your newer GM. So this also comes in a 17 and an 18. The 18 is kind of reserved for our 8 lug stuff. That's mostly an HD truck market anyways. So your heavy loads, your high offset to keep it flush under your truck. The 17 is more for the smaller vehicles like your Jeep JK, JL, and Tacoma stuff. So that'll work best on that. It's pretty limited in what we offer in this because, like I said, they're ready to go. So we're a small business. We can only import so many wheels at a time. So I just try to feel out the market and see what is most common with this stuff so we can have the most fitments with the least amount of inventory possible, right? So yeah, it's a great wheel. Can't beat the price. It's like 300 something bucks per wheel, and 18 jumps up to like 380 something. I'll talk more about this wheel specifically in another video, in its own video. So now we move up to our flow-formed cast wheel, cast beadlock, I should say. So while I call this a beadlock, you can also run it as a simulated. Our beadlocks are modular in the fact that you can mount it traditionally like a normal wheel and tire, and then you bolt on an accent ring. Or for more hardcore off-road use, we sell it with a beadlock ring, which is really common. And we send it with the ring and the longer hardware to mount it as a beadlock. Like I said, flow-formed design, cast, still an import unit. We import it just like this. So the spokes are already casted into the wheel. The way you could tell the difference is it has our BBW engraved in the spoke in the casting. And cast wheels are a volume game, right? So we have to order a lot of cast wheels to make it make sense. So we're a small business. Again, it's 2 of us in here. I got a couple CNC machines and another guy that helps me a lot in the warehouse and cutting wheels. I had the idea, I couldn't order all the fits and finishes and offsets that and sizes that they would be. So I was like, well, I'll get some CNC machines. I'll cut them myself. So I designed this blank raw. They don't do any of the beadlock holes. They don't do any of the PCD or the bolt pattern holes. The offset is done by us as well. So I can make thousands of different variations with this one wheel, right? So we put it in our machine. We'll cut the back pad to the offset that you want. We'll drill out all the beadlock holes. We form tap the holes so they're super strong. We use 3/8 hardware when clamping down the ring. We cut the PCD, or the bolt pattern in here, so 8 lugs, 6 lugs, 5 lugs, and that's pretty much it. So it's a great wheel. It's really popular. We only have it in the one design because, again, castings. So people ask, like, why can't I get your Kilo or your Delta design in a cast flow-formed wheel? It's money, basically. I don't have enough money to order containers and containers of all the different designs that we like, you know, that we can play with the next step up, right? So that brings me to my next point. Our next step up is a high-end option, right? This is a forged monoblock blank. So this is what we get from the foundry in California. These are USA made forged blanks. We have them lathe turned to our proprietary profile, and then we do all the milling on it, right? So we cut the spokes, we drill the bolt patterns, we cut the back pads for the offsets, we drill the beadlock holes, we cut the valve stem hole. So it's a lot of work. For the main op, it takes about an hour to cut like the main design and the front of the wheel, but there's 2-3 other ops before that just to get it ready for the main op, right? We have to put in our jig for the valve stem. We have to cut the back pad. We got to put the chamfer on it, cut the center bores, right? Because we leave the center bores small so we can hit as many different bolt patterns as possible. We leave a lot of meat on the back of the wheel so we can cut higher offsets and have more variations. Now, when I'm talking 1,000, maybe more options in the cast wheel, now we're talking like unlimited options with this wheel, right? We're still limited by our size and our width, right? This is a 17, this is 17, this is a 9 wide, this is a 9 wide. Essentially the same profile, but way more patterns, way more offsets, way more fitments in this guy, right? And again, both these are raw machine. There's no clear coat on these. These are as raw as they come out from the foundry, out of the lathe. And then once we finish everything in the CNC machines, we send these off to powder coat if a customer specifies they want powder coat. Or they just leave them raw machine. That's a really popular option as well. Now, there's a misconception here that just because it's forged, it must be light, right? And when you're talking like the street car market, yeah, forged wheels are light. But in the off-road market, light isn't always the best option, right? If you run this into a rock, you hit any kind of jump, you get airtime in your truck, like you need a wheel that's going to take an impact. And that's the biggest benefit with our forged stuff, is the barrels are super thick. Everything's really thick all around through the wheel. And we can do that because the aluminum is lighter, it's stronger, but then we just beef it up. So off-road racing, extreme off-road, this is what I run on my Jeep, my personal Jeeps. It's just the high premium option, and being USA made, it does make things more expensive, right? A lot of wheel companies, they'll bring in import forgings and then they'll cut them in-house, right? And they'll claim USA made. It's really USA machined or USA finished. But this one's truly 100% USA made. Like, it's just from the foundry to our dock into our machine. It's a premium option. I'll leave it at that. The nice thing with the forged wheels is we can iterate pretty quickly too, right? They're low volume, and if we see a way that we can improve it, we do on the next order. So since they're low volume, we order these more frequently so we can change chamfers or profiles or add features or take something off like pretty quickly. I do all the engineering on my end here and the CAD stuff and the CAM stuff, so I'm seeing firsthand what kind of needs to be changed and what have you, right? So like, for instance, once we came up with the HoldFAST option in our street wheel, it only made sense to, like, let's add that HoldFAST feature into this inner bead seat on our beadlock here, on our forged beadlock. All of our forged blanks come with that inner HoldFAST feature. These can be ran as a simulated wheel or a beadlock wheel. it's modular, right? People wonder why the simulated wheel is as much as the beadlock. It's because it's the same wheel. So you can run it on the street conventionally if you're not doing anything crazy, and just have your accent ring on there, and you could change the colors up and whatever. You find yourself going off-road more and you want to air down more, you can easily convert this over to a true beadlock just by ordering the ring and the beadlock hardware from us. This starts like this. This shows up to us like this on pallets, and then we finish it into this. So again, Sierra, Sierra, Sierra. That's the spoke design. It's not what the wheel is exactly, right? The Sierra was the first wheel that I truly drew up and cut in the CNCs, right? So it's been the most popular, the oldest design that we have. It's a classic design. And this is the forged 17x9 cut in a Sierra pattern. And again, we do all this milling and chamfering and fillets in the CNCs behind me. The beadlock rings, we have a few different types of beadlock rings that we offer. This one is just the standard solid. This is our strongest option if it's going to live in the rocks, or if you just like that classic look. The only downside with that option is there's no drainage for water. That's a big concern with a lot of people for their street vehicles, their weekend vehicles. You know, they don't want water pooling up in the wheel. So with that in mind, we have our slotted design, we have a notch design, and I came up with a minimalist 8 design. It's real kind of like the solid, but minimal notches in it. That's what I run on my Gladiator. The cool thing with the forged, it's really a boutique, custom-made wheel. You pick out your design, well, you pick out the size you need, right, and the bolt pattern and the offset you want, and then you should look at designs, right? The wheel companies are kind of backwards, like where people kind of shop for wheels, they shop for the look that they like, the spoke patterns that they like, but really, when you look at other companies, that option is not maybe right for your vehicle. So really, you should know the size you need, the bolt pattern you need, the offset, and then go from there, right? And see what's available for your truck and your fit. So what's cool with the Forge, it's a made-to-order wheel. So we find the right blank that's for your truck. You pick out a spoke design that you like. Again, Sierra. And then we have Kilo, Whiskey, X-Ray, Delta, and all those come out of the same blank. Thousands and thousands of ways we can make this wheel. So it gets pretty complicated with the machines. We have 2 CNCs, and like I said, it's just 2 of us here. So with it being made to order, we're actually pretty quick at it. We can spit out wheels within about 2 weeks in a raw machine finish. It usually takes about 3, maybe 4 with powder coat, just because we don't do powder coat here. We outsource that. So keep that in mind. If you want stuff fast, raw machined is always the fastest option. And then maybe you can powder coat them later when you get different tires on the next run. This is my favorite type of wheel that we sell, forged, high end, high impact, take whatever you could throw at it. This is the best budget wheel. I've been running these on my Super Duty for a long time with the prototypes that we made before we brought these to market. They've been nothing but perfect. I mean, they balance out great. They ride down the road fine. They're lighter weight. There's not a bunch of extra hardware to worry about. You know, it's a good wheel for sure. And then not only do we have like this 17x9, we have a 17x8, we have a 20x8, we have 18x9s in smooth lip stuff right now, but we're making more and more sizes. We're coming out with a new UTV wheel very soon for the guys running the Maverick Rs and the race car type UTVs, but to clear up some confusion on what's going on here and why we have so many Sierra designs. It's really not the design, it's a different fit and style of blank that we offer. We have maybe like 10 different blanks that we get from the foundry with all the different fitments and the different widths and sizes. So it gets a little confusing, but if you have any questions, just please reach out. I'm the owner, my name's Chris. If you call, you're gonna talk to me. I'm the one that answers the phone. I'm the one that answers the email. So if you don't hear back from me right away, it's not that I'm trying to ignore you. It's just we get busy here, and it's just a small guy small shop, right? Don't hesitate to reach out with any questions, shoot them in the comments. And guys, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. We're going to be doing more tech videos, breakdowns on why we do what, and vehicle breakdowns. I have my real passion is building vehicles, not building wheels, but really making stuff in general. So I'm going to do vehicle features. We're going to have new projects coming down the pipeline next year, and obviously new wheels, right? We're constantly reiterating and making new designs, and I'm going to use YouTube as my outlet to kind of explain everything, because again, I answer the phone, so I get all the questions. I know what the questions are, and it's confusing. Wheels are confusing. Like, I don't know what I need. You know, it's like, that's why I'm here. I've built a lot of vehicles. I can guide you in the right direction. So thanks, guys. See you next time.